Hello, friends, and welcome back to Malicious Compliance Stories. Our first story is the perfect response to all the companies whining about how no one wants to work anymore while claiming money's not the reason. But before we begin, best way to support our channel is to leave comments, like, and subscribe with the turned-on bell so you don't miss the new video every single day. Here we go. All the overtime you want? Okay. So this happened a couple of years ago when I was 19 or 20, somewhere around then. As a wee lad, I got a job working at a local superstore while attending college. I was a cashier. It sucked, but honestly, it wasn't as bad as it could have been. My immediate manager helped protect the cashiers from the higher-ups, but those are war stories for another day. As time went on, as it does, eventually the dreaded holiday season came around, Thanksgiving week to be exact. I got the week off of school due to the holidays and was scheduled to work a juicy 40 hours that week, but unfortunately was scheduled to work all Thanksgiving and Black Friday. My schedule had Thursdays off, but Thanksgiving falls on a Thursday, and I was being forced to work. The good news is that at least they fed us a ton of food in the break room. That was honestly nice. But I was bummed that I had to miss the holiday with family since I had prepared to have the day off as I thought I would. The store did not allow overtime. You were given extra lunches, sent home early, whatever they had to do to avoid paying out. If you got OT, you were either lucky or you had a major problem you were being made to handle. Management was salaried and the enlisted workers were lucky to get 38 plus hours, no extra money for the folks in the trenches. As we're a major store that caters to everything from groceries to electronics, we prepare for a very long week that tends to mark the hustle and bustle of the holiday season as a whole. The energy is pretty low as we all really dread this time of year, and I'm extra nervous. This is my first retail job in the front lines during the holidays, and I heard all the horror stories about what's coming. The store manager, SM, gathers up a lot of the workers for a quick announcement that Monday. He tells us that essentially we are really behind and have a ton of work to do, and this is going to be a rough and wild week. So he's authorizing any and all OT across all departments from today until Sunday. He told the managers and department heads that if an employee wanted to work, let them work. We need the coverage. Later on, we would discover what he meant was letting us come in on our days off to work an extra shift or two, tack on a nice 8 hours to our paychecks. Whoops. If an employee wants to work a shift, let them work. And oh boy, oh lord, oh gosh, oh golly gee willikers, did we want to work. Let me tell you, we went crazy. I pulled 6 doubles that week. Someone parked their RV in the parking lot and worked what had to be likely forbidden due to labor laws. People were working maximum hours. One day I worked so long, our manager gave me 3 lunch breaks. Dozens of people jumped at this opportunity. The next day I came in and saw the overnight guys still petering around. We milked that week for every hour, every cent of possible overtime. I don't recall all the numbers and such directly, but I think I went from a 72-hour paycheck to one that had to be about 118, and around 42 was OT, which was time and a half paid. It's been a few years, but those numbers feel right. Also, if you work on Thanksgiving, you're given a single-use 25% off coupon to use in the store on one big order. Since I use my overtime on stuff to buy in the store, I felt like I earned an extra 25% on top of that. Management let it happen. No one said anything to SM that week, and he sat in his office. It was 2 days after that some corporate suits showed up and gave him a verbal beating when they realized he blatantly authorized that. I think early on he realized his mistake, but the die was cast, and truth be told, we did need to get the work done. All that OT, and we barely were ready to open the door on Black Friday. He was mad, shouted at a couple of managers after he got yelled at, asking why they let us work so much, but they just shrugged. If an employee wants to work a shift, let them. It was immediately dropped and was clear it would never be allowed again, and policy will remain as it was. I bought a TV, a month plus of groceries, Christmas gifts for everyone, a new car battery, 2 new tires, and some random things here and there for myself. It was worth it. I'd do it again in a heartbeat. And our second story. How to make $300 in 10 minutes. I have a half-brother who lives in Thailand. Important for the story, I promise. One thing Thailand's really famous for is having fake brand stuff for all things you can imagine. And if you know what you're doing, you can get fake stuff that's of a really decent quality. So the last time he came for a visit home, I had asked him to bring me some fake Beats by Dre headphones. Over there, they only cost like $15 and really are decent headphones. Of course, nowhere near as good as Beats, but they can easily rival headphones you pay 50 or 60 euros here, which is the main reason I wanted them, and not because of the brand name. A couple days after my birthday, I went shopping for some new games. I'd gotten several gift cards from Best Buy, so that's where I went. I'd chosen 7 different games, most of them very cheap old games that only cost like $10, but on the way to pay for them, I realized I'd forgotten my gift cards at home, so I decided to simply put them back where I got them. I had my headphones on and was listening to The Who, really cool Mongolian band. Check it out on YouTube. I had the music pretty loud and was thinking hard where I could have put my gift cards, so I was really oblivious to my surroundings. I just had put back my last game when from behind someone rips the headphones off my head, violently pulls me around by grabbing my shoulder, I nearly fell, and starts shouting at me. Me will be me, the guy ripping off my headphones will be AC for a-hole customer. AC: how dare you listening to loud music while you work? I've been calling out to you 3 times already. I never had such crappy customer service. Me: what the hell's your problem? I don't work here. Now give me back my headphones. Also, even if I would work here, this is no way to treat another human being. You could have simply tipped on my shoulder or something to get my attention. AC: how dare you lecture me? I saw you refill the game section, of course you work here. Stop lying to me and show me the games I need for my nephew. Me: again, I do not work here. Look for an employee and stop shouting at me. I'm not deaf. AC: I can shout at you all I want if this is how you treat customers. I want to speak to your manager now. I'll have your job for this. All the shouting had created a small crowd observing us, but nobody did or said anything. Me, finally having enough and shouting back, you must be a special kind of stupid. I told you 2 times already, I do not work here. I simply returned some games I wanted to buy, but then realized I forgot my gift cards at home, so I put them back. The commotion had finally attracted an actual employee who turned out to be a manager. AC saw him coming and got a grin in his eyes. AC: finally, a manager. About time. Now you'll be taught a lesson about how to behave. With those words, he threw down my headphones to the ground, and before I could react in any way, he stepped on them hard enough to completely shatter them. Manager will be M. M: what seems to be the problem? AC: finally, you're here. This is the worst customer service I've ever had. This little crap was listening to loud music and ignoring me. I then tried to get his attention by tipping on his shoulder. He turned around and told me to piss off. I then asked him where to find a game for my nephew, so he turned around and threw his headphones at me. They fell to the ground and broke. Me: he's lying. I was shopping in peace when this psycho ripped off my headphones and assaulted me because he thought I was an employee ignoring him. When I tried to explain to him I'm not an employee, he got really rude and finally threw my headphones to the ground and stepped on them, shattering them in the process. AC: don't listen to this little crap, he's lying. I want you to fire him and call the cops for throwing his headphones at me. I'm lucky he didn't injure me. M: sir, first of all, this is not an employee. Second of all, I saw you throw the headphones to the ground and step on them. As for the rest, there are cameras everywhere, so I'm sure we can clear up exactly who did what. AC suddenly realized he was up Craps Creek without a paddle. His face got really white and his voice a bit shaky. M to me: I'm very sorry. Do you want me to call the police? Me: yes, please. He wanted to get me in trouble with the cops, so it's only fair I return the favor. AC: if I apologize to you and pay for the headphones, could we do this without the police? Me: do you have $300 on you? AC: I said I pay for the headphones and apologize, not to give you $300. Me: some headphones are very expensive. For example, Beats by Dre cost new $279.90. Look it up yourself if you don't believe me. I only had these headphones for a few days, so I deserve the full price of a new pair, and the rest of the money is an a-hole tax you really deserve to pay. Next time you want someone's attention who can't hear you, simply tap them on their shoulders instead of violently ripping them around and ripping off their headphones. So what's it gonna be? Police called and you arrested for assault, plus I go after you in small claims court for the headphones? Or you pay me $300 and this goes away? AC, okay, you get $300 as long as you don't call the cops. I can't afford to get in trouble with the police. He grudgingly gave me $300, apologized, and said he's taking anger management classes. Sometimes he can't control himself. At least he realizes he has a problem and is doing something about it, but I highly suspect he's done crap like this before and goes to this classes because a judge told him to. And our last story. HOAs are all gangsta till they get letters from the resident's lawyer. Backstory. I used to be on the board of this HOA long before the president forced me out. I didn't care so much because I was moving anyhow, but I kept it as a rental property. I currently have a renter there. The president kept putting letters in the mailbox and my renter complained, as he should, knowing exactly what the laws are. So I sent a letter demanding that the president cease these actions. The next month, out of nowhere, I get a letter with 5 violations and no real description of what was going on and no text on how to remedy. Some violations were for architectural choices the builder made 20 years ago. To the lawyers I go. Not much to say here because it was fairly smooth. I sent the letters to the lawyer. They drafted a demand letter with very scary sounding words and demands for violations to be removed and for attorney's fees to be paid. Last night, the management company notified me that all violations have been waived. I'm in Puerto Rico at the moment, so I'm guessing another pina colada is in order. Tip for everyone dealing with crappy HOAs, document everything, always. Working with lawyers, in my experience, is not hard as long as you just stick to exactly what the issue is. Hey guys, thank you all for watching the video. I'll see you in the next one.